Welcome to the Your Energy First podcast, where we help you explore and better understand your intuition and spiritual gifts so that you can apply them to your day-to-day for your most purposeful and abundant life. Welcome back to the podcast. I have Barb with me again today.
Hi.
We're going to talk about what does rest do to your energy field?
Okay. I like that.
What does rest do to your energy? The funny thing is that there is this preconceived notion in our society that rest is you not doing and therefore
Yes.
isn't valuable.
Yes.
And rest is what?
So important.
And it's you living.
Yeah.
It's you enjoying life. What's funny is the way that our material world is scheduled is typically, this isn't for everyone, but you get 2 days off a week on average.
Yeah.
If you own your own business and you're building it, you get a little bit less.
Yeah. Quite a bit less.
Or if you're a new parent.
Right. That's down to 0 now.
And so many other things.
Yeah.
So it's funny because, I noticed this in our conversations a while back. I had said to you, you're like, well, what are you doing, today or tomorrow? And I was like, oh, I'm not doing anything. And I caught myself and I go, wait a minute. I go, just because I didn't have anything scheduled, I was so excited for my day of just relaxing and enjoying myself and doing whatever I wanted to do. And I was like, I'm not doing nothing. I was like, I'm living.
You're right.
So online, there's this phrase when women do this thing, it's called rotting, where you just hang out all day and you don't listen to me, you don't do anything.
Okay.
And I don't like the term rotting.
No, I don't either.
Right. Because you're restoring.
Yes.
When I have a day.
They both start with R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I have a day like that or 2 days like that, I am like a boomerang that comes back into this world.
Yes.
With vim, vigor, ideas. I get things done in no time at all. These things that have been weighing heavily on me, I see so clearly now. So now I implement them in my schedule, and I have become a stickler about them. Especially as women who are in the season of life where you still have your menstrual cycle, I have found it's even more important to notice these things. And it can be very challenging if you're in the modern work world, but as best you can, I actually create my schedule around my cycle now. And I know what I'm going to want to do based on what phase of the month that I'm in. It's been a game changer. What happens if we don't rest and live? Calling resting and living the same thing.
Yeah. Major burnout.
Major burnout. We buy more things.
We do?
We buy unnecessary things.
Never looked at it that way.
That's what I was intuiting this podcast, and these are in my notes, is what they were sharing with me. And I was like, oh, same. I was going to make this joke marked safe on Prime Day because I didn't have anything to buy. There was nothing I wanted. I didn't even feel drawn to it because I've done healing work around purchasing. I used to purchase things all the time. And I was like, wow, creates clutter, creates noise in my life. It just doesn't make me happy. And I was telling a client this, and I was like, but then I didn't want to shame anybody who did buy anything on Prime Day, so that's why I didn't post it. But you get to this point where you're just so serene within yourself, and that's all relative too. But you're just like, I just don't need things. You have this desire to have fewer things, but nicer things, like quality things. I'm not talking about name brands, just quality things. We choose more substances. Weed, alcohol, caffeine.
Oh, when we're burnt out.
Right.
We're trying to figure out where that fit into the conversation.
Oh, sorry. Wasn't clear. Okay. So when we're tired and burnt out and we're not resting and caring for ourselves, we crave heartier foods, heavier foods, greasier foods, because we want to feel, what's really happening is we want to feel grounded. Like, ground me down, make me slow down, make me stop, make me feel.
That'll do it.
Right. Make me feel something. The other thing is, when I look at my healing journey with alcohol, I don't believe I had a problem with alcohol. I haven't had alcohol in my house for years, and I was only drinking socially, and nothing made me stop drinking other than it just didn't make me feel good. It made me feel tired. And, I grew up working in tech, you just drank every day. It was like happy hours and dinners. And then in my 20s and 30s, my friends and I all partied. Like, it was just very normal. And what I wouldn't give to now go back and not have all of those things. But I just decided it didn't support the lifestyle I wanted to feel. It wasn't making me feel good. And so what I had to look at as I was healing this part of myself is, what is making me want to drink? What's triggering it? And I realized when I wasn't living my day-to-day life in my own true alignment is when I wanted it to help me relax or escape.
Yeah, I think that's so true.
Yeah. And undoing that and the social aspect of drinking were the two hardest things. So then I was like, wait, now I need to find things that make me relax, and I need to have days that don't put me into that stressed mode where I need to lock it into its whatever cocktail o'clock so that my body and energy can now know it's time for me to unwind.
Right.
And we push ourselves so hard.
Yeah. Even if you're retired like me.
How so?
Well, because I'm definitely a doer, and I tend to sometimes overdo. We don't need to get into what, but so many different things.
Heroin.
Pardon? What'd you say?
Heroin.
No, just overdoing. Thinking I have to get all this done today, and I have to get that done and this done, and take care of this and take care of that, and to your point with the alcohol, a lot of times it is just, it's the end of the day. It was a long day. We worked hard, and let's sit down and relax. But I'm finding too that on a daily basis, if you do that, then it's not. Then it's become a habit, and it's not so much anymore a nice special treat,
Right.
once in a while. So.
Right.
Maybe I got off the subject here a little bit, but
again, tangent.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting.
Tangent positive community.
My people. Once it start telling a story and going in all different directions.
Well, and we're gonna get more into healing around substances for those that simply want to carve it out of their lives.
Yeah.
There's gonna be more coming on that. So what's happening when we're not acclimating ourselves to more rest, to living, to simply being, is we're not trusting ourselves. We're not trusting the process.
Right.
Because it's like, well, if I don't have everything scheduled, I'm not in control.
Yeah. Yeah.
And essentially, we have less joy in life.
100%.
Now, there's seasons for this. If you're someone with a bunch of kids, it's a little bit different.
Yes.
But we also want to normalize. I call it doing nothing. I mean, not having anything scheduled. So then what happens? You follow your flow.
Yes.
Do I want to draw?
Right.
Do I want to, I'm starting to pick up more craft-like hobbies, which I'm exploring, which is kind of crazy and fun. And you start to have this time now open up to nurturing different parts of you.
Yeah.
So what happens to your energy field when you do these things?
Expands.
Yes. It's true.
I feel like I just got an A+.
Gold star, gold star.
Gold star.
It's true.
Yeah, it does.
It's weird because the hardest thing for people to do is to hit the brakes and to take the time off.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing.
I agree.
They have so much fear. And by the way, I can say all of these things because this was me. I mean, this took me years to unravel from. And this fear of, what will people think? What will I think of myself? Will I ever be able to get myself back out of rest?
Right.
I mean, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
When I quit my job in tech, my biggest regret is that I didn't take a couple months off, 3 months off to just relax, to just
reconvene.
Yeah. It took me a long time to detox from that life and that lifestyle, and that would have really helped me. But instead, I was like, oh, I have to prove this to myself. I have to prove to other people You know, those were the mistakes I made. Just a few of the mistakes I made at that point.
I think that what you said there just now, feeling like you have to prove yourself to yourself and to other people. I mean, none of us are right out and out lazy, right? I mean,
No.
let's take that out of the picture.
No, people who are attracted to this line of work can't be lazy.
Yeah. Even my 98-year-old mother, who she makes her lists every morning, and
except for Sundays.
Except for Sundays, yes. And she makes her lists of what she has to do for that day, and it's laundry, this, that, the
watering
other, watering the plants, doing all that. And she is, doing her exercises, doing her meditation, and that list looks different than your list or my list or somebody that's
right.
Everybody else, right? But it gives her focus. She gets it done. But sometimes I get the feeling that she feels like if she does do a little bit of rest, that, that's, well, I was just sitting and crocheting for a minute, but I really enjoy it. And that's okay. But she also is a go-getter, has been all of her life. So
the biggest healing I feel as though I've had to do around this has been in my maternal line, around not always doing something.
The women, yeah.
I don't know if it's the German. I don't know if it's females having to prove things. I don't know what it's been. But you, me, and Omi have had years of conversations of normalizing the rest and relaxation and what you said about it expands your energy. This is the part I want to give people cheat notes. Okay. I'm like, this is what I've learned. And it's what I do now. You can put on the brakes and clear your schedule. You can.
Yeah.
You're choosing not to. You can address why you're doing that. And I'm not saying you should, everybody's circumstances are different. So all we want to do is look at, where am I out of my power? Why am I not choosing this? I used to take every single client that hit me up or came my way. I was like, yep, I'll take. Oh, you want it to be a Thursday afternoon when I had this plan? That's okay. I'll move it. And now I'm very strict. Like, these are the rules. This is how things are. I have to say no. And it's so important. And what happens is you create this rest period, and it takes a bit of time to get out of your head.
Yes, it does.
And then you start to enjoy it. And then you start to see the benefits. So what people are missing is that when you do extended periods of rest, there are a multitude of benefits. So it's not, oh gosh, I'm not outputting in this world. You're tending to your energy. You're processing energy better. Your energy's expanding. When your energy expands, also known as raising your vibration, our vibration raises where we expand all the way around our aura field, right? And when that happens, you're actually going to begin shedding some things. It becomes easier to release old stagnant energy when you are relaxed. Creative ideas come to you.
Yes.
Creative solutions to things you've been gnawing on for a while come to you.
And I kind of, excuse me for interrupting, but it's like when we go to bed with a problem. All right, we've all got problems of some sort, right? And you may wake up in the middle of the night and think, oh my gosh, thinking about it, trying to think about a solution for it. And then you do fall back asleep. I know almost everybody can relate to this part. You wake up in the morning and you're rested, even though you woke up in the middle of the night for a little while, you're rested, and all of a sudden, it's not so bad anymore, right? And I kind of think it's the same with day rest, like you were saying.
We call it well rest.
Rest.
Keeping yourself well. And as a culture, we don't do enough of it. There's
No, we
other
don't.
cultures that are beautiful at it.
Yes.
They take, multiple hour breaks. And then what's the narrative? Oh, well, they don't have a strong army. They don't have a strong GDP, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, but they have a happy life and they're healthy and they have longevity and they have loved ones that they're hanging out with and laughing and telling stories and sitting in the sunshine outdoors, getting some fresh air. Give me that all day long.
Yeah, I agree.
We got a ways to go, but we're doing it.
Yep.
And I also want to acknowledge, I see each of us is doing it in our own way, and that is how it's meant to happen. So as you blaze your own trail and you do things your way and you're like, I just don't see people doing it this way yet, they're out there. I promise you they're out there.
Yeah.
And give yourself radical rest.
Yes. Yes.
We would love to hear in the comments how you found this episode. What insights did you get? What questions came from it? Thank you for being here, for bringing your light and all of you into this world.
Thank you, Emily.